Hey Hex, what do you get when you take the first-person shooter genre and add it to tower defense and then make a sequel?
Okay, first of all, that's the worst intro ever. And second, you know that I know it's Sanctum 2.
You get Sanctum 2.
Walkers approaching!
One tower at a time. All good. This is gonna get him.
Nice.
The original Sanctum set up some pretty solid foundations. First, you create a lethal maze, and then you run around inside it, blasting away at waves of bugs. An undeniably fun combo.
The sequel pretty much does the same thing, but with a few notable changes. There is a campaign with 16 different maps to work your way through, either solo or co-op. And there's a story told through a few comic panels in the loading screens, but it's essentially aliens attacking your cores. It's your job to stop them.
This time around, the maps are more intimate, so enemies come in smaller waves. But to counter this, they're now tougher, and occasionally they even throw in a giant boss. These guys actually rip through your defenses. There's also a bit more variety to the maps than we saw before.
Each map has special zones where you can raise your defenses to try and stop the bugs from getting to your precious core. Between rounds, you'll earn some resources and tower bases which you can set up in whatever pattern you see fit, and this allows you to build a maze without it costing any resources.
All clear for now.
But you will only be able to afford 2 or 3 turrets each round, so there is stuff to think about there.
Yeah, and of course, as with most tower defense games, the key is to really create the longest maze possible for enemies to walk through and force them past as many turrets as possible. Because turrets are limited, you'll need to decide whether to remove your old ones and rearrange your defenses or simply upgrade them.
You also need to get in there and fight them back yourself. Most rounds feel like they're getting right down to the wire, with those big heavy units getting really close to your core.
Yeah, you can't just sit back and let the turrets do everything. Also, now you can choose from one of 4 characters before the match starts, and each has a special weapon and ability. You can equip a second gun of your choice, but these don't include the major weapons. So if you want to use a sniper rifle, you have to choose the sniper character, for example. But you know, that's just extra incentive to play in co-op.
Yeah, and you know, truly, I only enjoy these games when you're playing it with a friend, especially in this one when you've got full access to the entire arsenal of special weapons. Also, as you level up now, you unlock new perks, guns, and turrets. There's some pretty powerful perks in there you'll want to experiment with to find out what style works best for each character and map.
It took me a while to figure out the reload mechanic here, because unlike most games, you can actually still be reloading after you've switched weapons. It is great though, since it means that you can constantly be switching weapons and firing away rather than just waiting for a reload. Also, if you're up for a bit of a challenge, you can toggle on feats of strength, which boost the enemy in a number of ways, like giving them rechargeable health or making them just stronger. And these will give you a nice big XP boost as well.
And that's really all there is to it. There's nothing revolutionary here, but it's a simple idea done well, so I think it's worth an 8.
Yeah, it's an 8 from me too. Hey, I wonder what's happening in Tiny Power.
Let's find out.